Here's the August 5th weekly recap for 100sponsorships.com. So here are our traffic stats. You might want to pause the video for a minute or two and look at the numbers and digest them before I start talking about them in detail. The first thing is that Jason and I were expecting more traffic this week, but that did not end up happening. What happened was we had our campaign running in North America, primarily Canada and the United States. Well, last week we added other countries outside North America into the campaign. And those new countries we put in there, like the new geographic locations we put in there, got great traffic and produced a lot of leads, but it was at the expense of our North American countries. So what we're doing to handle that issue is we've actually separated out the campaign. So we have a North America campaign and then those other countries' campaign. Exact same landing pages, exact same information, we just have them separated out. That way, one area or one set of countries is not getting traffic at the expense of other areas. You know, even though we're bidding the same amount of money, it's just that's the way it works sometimes with advertisers. So if you're running that problem, try separating out. So we did that, and then the next day after we did that, we started seeing a traffic increase in both campaigns in those different geographic locations. So next week, we should probably have increased traffic. And I want you to focus on lines 2, 3, and 4. You can see there that our short form landing page on those are having about a 16 to 17% conversion, meaning for every 100 people who see that page, 16 or 17 people are putting in their email and first name. So that's a really high conversion rate. We'd like to see that right around 20% is our goal. So those are very close. And I think as we do a few more adjustments, we can get those up to 20%. But that's the power of what happens as you learn marketing and then you start separating out your keywords into specific ad groups. You can get really tight keywords and very, very focused ads and short forms that will give you some very high conversion numbers. So if you have a campaign out there where it's one size fits all, or one campaign you're advertising on all areas of keywords, you'll probably have a lower conversion rate. So a good tactic is to actually separate out into tight keyword groups and then put those in their separate ad groups and create a different ad and short form landing page for each one of those. And the other three campaigns, 1, 5, and 6, they're at 4% and 7%, certainly are not doing bad. I mean, they're still generating traffic, and the cost per lead is still very, very good. It's very, very low. Now, I did put an asterisk next to campaign number 5, because if you look at it, the amount of views that campaign has is out of whack for the rest of the campaigns. And what happened there is we're actually taking that one campaign, we're still advertising it on Google AdWords PPC with the other 5 campaigns, but we've taken that same campaign and we're testing out a different advertising source. We did this years ago, and so we want to run a test campaign with it to see if we could get more traffic, see what their costs were, see what their cost per conversions were, and see if it would be a good thing to also show people on our team what to use as well. So we're testing it. That's why that campaign number 5 has such higher views than the other ones. Now, the number of leads it's producing, like the lead conversion ratio, is on the bottom end of it. But the thing is, all the clicks on an advertising course are costing us 5 or 6 cents. So it's very, very inexpensive, but you get a lower conversion rate. So we got to see if the numbers work out and how it compares to Google AdWords. So I will keep you up to date on that, and if all works out well, I will share with you exactly what we're doing there. But you can see our totals for the week. We had about 1,200 views, producing 86 leads and 29 contacts with an overall lead conversion of 7.3%, which is really good actually, since it's our second week of advertising, especially when you take in consideration that campaign number 5, we're testing out a new ad source with, and that's really throwing off the numbers. So if you take that out of there, we're probably in the teens for overall lead conversion. The tracking code for test drives is not working correctly per campaign. So that's why I didn't have test drives listed on the previous statistics page right there. We got to do some fine tuning and figure out something is not tracking exactly where the test drives are coming from. People can still enroll all right, just where they're coming from by campaign is not coming up in the tracking for some reason. So we're working on that. But the important thing is we got 3 more test drives this week. Now again, 2 self-enrolled, meaning they came through the marketing on their own, saw the videos, and enrolled in the test drive before talking with Jason or I. Now the test drive was only $9.95, so it's pretty inexpensive, but when you have a 5-step marketing funnel or 5-step sales process, that's really, really nice to see. And then we had 1 enroll after a phone conversation. It was actually a gentleman who talked with Jason. Then the next day he enrolled for the test drive. So 3 test drives this week and then 3 test drives the previous week. So if you look at the second bullet points there, I have current test drives, and those are the people who enrolled the previous week. All 3 are going through it. We've done our brainstorming session with all 3 of them. Jason's done it with some. I've done it with some of the other ones. And that brainstorming is your online presence videos and the internet demystified. So the website brainstorming and keyword research. So we're working with people on there, and the ideas that people are coming up with are actually phenomenal. Like I knew people come with good ideas, but so far people come with great ideas. Actually, I'm very impressed by it. So that shows 2 things to me. One is that the marketing is producing high quality people, which is the most important thing. And the second thing is that the training is working. Jason and I are spending minimal time with these people. We're having them watch the videos, do the exercises, and work with them. But the training is teaching people enough and then giving them guidelines and then using their creativity to come up with some great ideas. So Jason and I are both impressed with the ideas people are coming up with, and it's a very, very promising sign for what's to come down the road. And the last bullet point I have on there is that the people are absolutely loving the perfect marriage. And the perfect marriage is combining internet marketing with traditional network marketing and the tangible products that they have. And so with that, we've had really no major MLM objections, and I'd even go as far as to say is really no MLM objections whatsoever. People are coming in because they want to learn how to do internet marketing with a tangible product, and the tangible product is what we market through our network marketing company. And what people are saying is that they're like, yeah, I've done MLM in the past. I just didn't work out for me for these various reasons. But once they see the model we have, where we're using network marketing and combining that with the power of internet marketing for generating business and generating customers, people are absolutely loving it. So no major objections, and we even had some people say, wow, this is what I've been looking for. This is perfect. One lady said, let me find her quote exactly, said, after 5 years of trying things online, I feel like I finally found my place with you guys. And that's just me paraphrasing it. But that's a great line from a lady going through test drive. And then we had another gentleman who said he joined MLM, a previous MLM company in the past, and his sponsor promised him, saying, oh yeah, well, you can build this online, you can do this, you can do that. And then once he paid his money and enrolled, he got make a 250 names list person. And when he asked, what about the internet? He says, oh, well, we do that later, but you have to do this first. So it was really just, a sleight of hand to get a person sponsored. Well, guess what? That person did not end up building the business. But once he saw what we have, he's excited, he's interested, and he's going through the process. Now, I've posted our weekly activity list. We're doing the exact same thing that we did the previous week. Nothing's different. We're following those exact same things. But I did highlight in blue under Generate the section saying leads, emailing, and social media connections. And we've been very surprised at the results we're getting from this. And I'm talking about the Generate page process, where once a person comes in and gives us their name and email for the free Internet Income Report, but they don't move on to the next step of the marketing funnel, which is giving us their phone number, answering a few questions, and setting up a 30-minute phone appointment, we've set up a process to where we can email out the person, find them on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and do a social media connection. And we've been just absolutely floored at the response we're getting from people. We have way more people converting from leads to contacts than we ever expected using this process. We've even had a few people go from responding to one of our emails into enrolling themselves in the test drive before talking on the phone. And we're just getting some high quality people out of here. Honestly, I expected a lot of, pardon my language, but idiots emailing back, like, well, how much does this cost? Or, tell me what this is about. You kind of get those weird emails of just, people who aren't doing anything. But we're actually getting the exact opposite. We're getting a few of those people, but that's to be expected. But we're getting just a tremendous amount of people emailing back who are professional, well-spoken, and just seriously looking for a business that they can build part-time. And they're willing to invest time and resources into building it for residual income. So if you're not following that process, oh man, make sure you're doing it. And so looking at this really tells me two things. First off, people, like the people out there on the internet, are just absolutely starving to talk to a real life, normal person. I think over the last couple of years, people have gotten really sick and tired of the hype and have gotten sales letter fatigued. Meaning every time they click on something, they get one of those, those long sales letters that are like 13 pages long, that have all these testimonials and promise you the moon for a $39 or $77 ebook. You've seen those. And I think people have gotten fatigued to those. And then people are really responsive to our process because we're legitimate and we're actually talking with people. Secondly, this goes to show that you never want to automate 100% your marketing process, because you could put these emails in an autoresponder, but you get much less of the response because you're not personalizing things and you're not manually going out there and finding them on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Remember, MLM is a people business, so always try to connect with a person one-on-one. Now, we do use autoresponders, but that's more for long-term follow-up. But when they initially come in, we do everything we can to set up that one-on-one personal touch with them and set up that personal relationship. Jason Wells and I were talking over the weekend, and it came up how we could both feel the momentum building in our business and in our pipeline. If you've never been part of a team before where they've had momentum, it's just contagious, and it's so key to building just a huge MLM business. You hear about people talking how they added, hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people in their downline over a year or a couple years and build these great residual incomes. Well, momentum is a big factor in that. Jason and I had that years ago when we both went full-time, established very good businesses and good long-term residual incomes. And we spent the last about 13 or 14 months redesigning everything in our system, training, marketing, just everything we need to go out there and just build our businesses up to the next level. So we know what it takes to build momentum, and that's what we've been committed to for the last 13 months as we worked on it. So I really hope that you are catching the energy and catching the momentum, because these next couple of years are going to be just great for our businesses. And the more people who hop on board, the more people who join the energy, the training calls, it just adds more to it. So make sure you're staying focused right now and you're getting your marketing in place. You're putting your focus on your business, because I promise you the next couple of years are going to be phenomenal. So that wraps up this week's weekly recap. So make sure you follow us at 100sponsorships.com. And if you have questions, post them on our Facebook page, facebook.com/100sponsorships, or go to the Contact Us page on 100 Sponsorships if it's something more personal you don't want public. Jason and I will try to answer every question we can. And then my goal is to take one question a week and then do an in-depth answer or analysis of and post it on the blog.